Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Women Like Me Stories in Business. I'm your host, Julie Fairhurst. And today I'm super excited to tell you that I have Renee Carbone Fleming here with us today. And even in our little conversation before we aired and started recording, I've gotten tips from her. So you guys need to hang on. And throughout this podcast, it's going to be spectacular. So let me tell you a little bit about her, and then we're going to dive in. So Renee Carbone Fleming is the founder of Badass Queen, personal branding and media agency, visibility, personal branding expert, author, media personality, empowerment coach, and creator of the Watch Me Method. I can't wait to find out what that's all about. Renee's story is one of those powerful reminders that rock bottom is not the end of your story. Sometimes it is the place where a woman feels that she's finally rising and looks life in the eye and says, watch me. Ooh, I got shivers. Watch me. Love that. Today, we're going to talk about reinvention. We're going to talk about visibility, confidence, personal branding, leadership, and what happens when a woman decides she is done asking for permission to become who she was always meant to be. Renee, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're
I
welcome.
need to like record that intro and like a reminder to me,
Oh, yeah.
That felt really good. In
Yeah.
fact, I might use that like walking into every room, like
Yeah.
Renee.
That's right. That's a good one. I never thought of that. Okay, Renee, let's start with the two powerful words, the ones that gave me a shiver.
Yeah.
Watch me. What was happening in your life when that became more than just a phrase, when it became a decision?
Absolutely. So I started my entrepreneurial my entrepreneurial arm, with post-divorce, and I was over the age of 40. So I needed to reinvent myself. At the time I had, 17-year marriage that ended. My children were 12 and 9. And I was like, okay, what's next? I was stay-at-home mom. And there were a lot of people, and not to speak ill of my ex, but a lot of people, including him, that didn't think that I could survive without him. I couldn't tie my shoes without him. And so that whole, I'm a stubborn Sicilian, Portuguese, and I have that, you don't think I can? Watch me. And so that just became like, I just don't want people to doubt me. So I started writing watch me on post-it notes and put it all over my office, my car, my bathroom mirror, anywhere that I needed that reminder, because I could either crawl into a ball and literally bawl my eyes out, or make the decision to go, I'm going to go build something. And if you don't think I can, and there was a lot of people in my world that didn't think I can, but I know I can bet on me, right? So that's why I had
Yeah.
that watch me. And then over the years, so that catapulted me, like that grit and tenacity and that fuel became the foundation and the philosophy of me building multiple streams of income with that watch me. So that without knowing it then, I recognize now that watch me, that watch was an acronym, and it really stands for withdraw from explanation. A is to act without approval. T is to take up space publicly. C is to commit without consensus. And H is hold the vision when no one else does.
Wow.
And if,
I'm sorry, when we're done,
yeah,
I'm writing watch me on all my sticky notes. I love
fantastic.
that.
Fantastic. Thank you. And I wrote a book, and I published a book, Watch Me, on Amazon. The
Yeah.
business philosophy, because this really is whether or not you're an entrepreneur or you work, a corporate job. There's so many people in our lives, and especially, my audience is typically women over 40, but lately I've been having so many conversations and the importance of us teaching the younger generation and teaching them, because sometimes they go into this world and their next stage with those rose-colored glasses. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And they need the reminder, they need to know that it's not all roses. There's going to be a lot of shit thrown your way, But if you believe in what you're doing and you're doing it for the right reasons, watch me. Just continue to
Oh,
do it. Yeah,
love that. It's a very powerful statement. It
it
really is
is.
powerful.
Thank
Yeah, I
you.
hope you
Yeah.
all start putting it everywhere that you
Watch
can
me.
see
And
it.
everyone that puts it everywhere, tag me. I want to repost you. I will
Ah,
absolutely. Yes. Yes.
perfect. All
Tag
right.
that post-it note. Yeah.
Yeah. So you didn't start there.
No,
You experienced bankruptcy, the end of a marriage, and you had to rebuild from scratch. So how did you do that?
I had to put my big girl pants on. So yes, I came from very, small means growing up. And so the philosophy in the family was, you go to work, you get a job, maybe become a secretary if you're lucky, and then, you die a slow death. So college wasn't in the cards for me, for our
Mm.
family. My biological father had committed suicide when I was a child.
Oh, I'm so
And
sorry.
so, thank you. And so, my mom, she remarried my dad. I call him my dad, right? But I was 10 when when she got remarried. So, I've known him obviously all my life. But I moved out at the age of 17. And, uh, I always had to rely on myself. And I knew from a very early stage that I wanted more. So, because I was always that big dreamer, I mean, I remember in elementary school, I would write my name on a piece of paper, like, when you're supposed to watch the movie, right? I would
Yeah.
write my name on a piece of paper as if it was a desk plate that you put on your office. Like I always had that in me that I was going to do something. Never knew really
Yeah.
what it was. So then, I was successful in a career because of my grit and determination, outside of having a college education. But when my children, when they were born, when we decided I was going to leave corporate world and be a stay-at-home mom, that was I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I wanted to be present. But then I found over time, I started losing my value.
Mm.
And, I didn't have anything. I felt like I wasn't bringing anything to the table.
Mhm.
And I was being seen as somebody without value. And so when the marriage ended, I had to figure out what is this going to look like? I mean, child support's not a life plan. So my children were 12 and 9 at the time, and my youngest daughter was a competitive dancer filled with Swarovski crystals. Now, as you can tell by me, I love bling, I love fancy, I love, bougie as hell,
Yeah.
right? But and the whole bold badass, right? So
Yeah.
I found I was helping because I was, justifying my existence as a stay-at-home mom. I used to sign up for I volunteered for everything that my children's school needed, extracurricular needed,
Mhm.
anything I could do to make me feel like I was contributing. And part of that dance, we were always doing like fundraising, and I was helping the school come up with ideas. So as I was doing some research as far as what kind of companies can, support us in those efforts, I found that Swarovski had an entrepreneurial arm.
Ah,
I know. And so I was intrigued. So long story short, contacted the woman. Eventually I decided, you know what, I'm gonna join, and I'm going to fundraise and help other moms offset the costs for competitive dance. Fast forward, I built a multi-million dollar sales organization. I traveled the world, free incentive trips, did the whole thing. Great. And I'm only saying that because and I don't want to diminish it. Like, what an experience. It changed my life. It changed the trajectory. But that was the whole watch me, especially, network marketing gets sometimes a bad rap.
yes. Yes.
Direct sales and network, oh, that's sleazy. And what are you doing? And
Mhm.
um, that's not who I am, and that's not how I built it, and that's not why it was sustained over that course of well over a decade. And then so that's how I built it with the whole watch me. That's how it started, and then it just went
Wow.
into. I mean, I can go into everything that I did and what I have.
Yeah.
It's just, it evolves, and we
Yeah.
change and grow, and our
Mhm.
interests change. And, that's why I'm really passionate about helping, especially women over 40 and over 50, like know that it's okay. You can pivot, you can learn new tools, you
Yes.
can,
Yes.
explore something. So,
I
yeah.
think we have so much wisdom over 40, 50 into our 60s, 70s. We're just 80s. I
Yeah.
have a lady that I did a podcast with. She's written a book and she's doing all this stuff for mature ladies and
Yeah.
she's vibrant and excited
Right.
about life. And it's not the way it was when our parents were
No, no.
our age, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
So, what about visibility? Why do you believe so many talented, brilliant women are hiding in plain sight?
Fear. Fear is a big
Uh,
thing, right? Like
yeah.
what are people going to think? Oh my gosh, if I put it out there that I'm going to create a podcast, what are they going to think, right? And
Right.
especially our family and friends, it's really it's I can't say crazy. Everyone has their perspective, but
Yes.
oftentimes we think that our closest relationships are going to be the ones that support us the most.
No.
And that's not
No.
true,
It's
right?
not true.
It's not true. And so
Yeah.
I think that fear of what is our family and friends going to think,
Yeah.
right? Because they know us. So they don't
Yes.
see us as this, oh, she's on social media and she's
Yeah.
influencing or she's podcasting or she's whatever. So that fear is what holds us back. But visibility is one of the strongest tools and assets that we have.
Oh,
When we oftentimes we say the smartest person, the most brilliant coach, those are the people that are getting like washed, step behind. The ones that are visible are going to be the ones that get the jobs, that get the clients, that get the sales.
yes.
And I'm
Yes.
not saying that we have to be visible, like share our entire life story. So many people,
No.
really despise social media, and that's
Yes.
understandable. It's a love-hate relationship,
Yes, it is.
right? But
Hmm.
it is leverage and
Hmm.
it does help the visibility. Like we do podcasts, right? We
Yes.
talk about connecting with other people and sharing our stories and sharing our journeys. That's all visibility. And
Yes.
when we can be authentic and share that, people will get to like, know, and trust you. And if they
Yes.
like, know, and trust you over time, they may do business with you. They may take,
Exactly.
a tip from you that can change their day or their
Yes.
life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What you use the phrase approval tax. So what does that mean? And what is being in business? Is being in business costing women, or is it not being in business that's costing us? I don't know.
No,
I'm
what's
confused.
costing us is the need for approval from others.
Ah, got it.
That's the tax that we put on
Mhm,
ourselves.
mhm,
And that's why
mhm,
that whole watch me, like we don't need act
mhm,
before approval. If we
mhm.
ask, for instance, if I asked my closest family and friends, what do you think about me trademarking and building badass queen wine? They're going to think she's batshit crazy.
That's exactly what they're going to think.
Right? And
Right.
two, they're going to be
Yes.
like, go get a job in this economy, in this world.
Yeah.
How do
Yeah.
you think you can build? Right?
Yeah.
And me, I'm like, watch me. I am building Badass Queen Wine. That is
Yeah.
launching most
Yeah.
likely for Labor Day.
Wow.
Because why not?
Why
I,
not?
right? Why not? I've got one freaking life to live, and I'm
Yeah.
going to live it beyond its fullest
Hmm. Hmm.
without apology,
Yeah.
being unapologetic, right? But being authentic to who I am and who he has meant me to be. He's
Yeah.
going to bring me to where I'm trying to live the life that I'm meant to live.
Yes.
And if I
Yes.
ask the people right around me who are more conservative, right? No offense to them, that's great
No.
that
No.
they are who they are. But if
Yeah.
they're a more conservative group of people that, go to work, get the pension, put in the social security, like do the things, and I'm not built that way, they may want to persuade me accidentally or,
Yes.
for
Yeah.
safety, because they're concerned. Uh,
Yes.
but they don't have the same mindset. So we have to
Mhm.
ensure that we find the people who
Yes.
have the mindset and help us get to where we're meant to be.
Yeah. I think as well we have to be, because there are certainly people that love us and care about us and they
Yeah.
want to they're worried about our future.
Yeah.
But I think there's also that group that you're pulling away.
Yeah.
you're,
Yes.
you're no longer we're no longer jiving, so you're
Mhm.
starting to pull away, and they're not comfortable with that for whatever reason. And so I think that I agree with you 100%. We need to find our tribe. We need to find other women and men, but
Yeah.
women to support us in and lift us up and watch us and raw us on, because they're out there.
They're out there. And that's the thing with relationships and with growing and with changing. Not everybody is meant to be in your story for a lifetime.
Yes.
Sometimes it's, for a season. It's it's sometimes sad, oftentimes it's sad when you see somebody else pull away. When you know that authentically you're the same person, you're just choosing a new or a different path.
Yeah.
Um, but that's on them. And like Mel Robbins says, let them, right?
Yeah.
That's on
Absolutely.
you. If I'm not your cup of tea, that's okay. I drink
Yes.
coffee. I'm good.
Yes. Exactly. Well, your Watch Me method has 5 principles. Can you walk us through them and explain how women can begin using them right away?
Yeah. So again, that watch me is withdraw from explanation. We don't need to explain what we're doing, why we're doing it, how we're doing it. We
Yeah.
just do it. The A is to act before approval. Again, don't speak to or don't ask for approval from people that don't understand where you're going. And then T is take up space publicly. So whether that's, posting on social, doing it scared, right? And that's okay. Be scared doing this. When you have this like agita feeling, you're like, oh, should I do it? That's kind of like the sign, like, yes, you need to do it, right? You need to
Yes.
act on it. And
Yeah.
and the publicly is, what rooms can you find yourself in to be connected with those other women? And whether those rooms are podcasts, whether they're, I have like the Badass Queen TV icon series. So, certain women are invited to be icons. There are, I've been inducted into this bombshell boss babes. And, I mean, that felt really bougie. I was in Miami for a yacht party. It was like,
Oh, fun.
it was so crazy fun, right? But it's take up be public. I was on the NASDAQ billboard, so I was posting all about that.
I read that. I read that.
Listen,
Amazing.
it was
How
the
exciting.
coolest experience. I was nominated, or I was actually awarded Top Empowerment Coach of the Year and invited to be on the NASDAQ billboard. That was such an experience and such a full circle moment. I brought my oldest daughter with me, who has seen all the struggle, who has been with me,
Yeah.
carrying me on, and to
Yeah.
share that with her was amazing. But that's
Yeah.
the whole take up space publicly, like unapologetic, going,
Yes.
I worked my ass off for it. So,
Yes.
I'm going to share it. I'm proud of myself for the woman that I'm
Yeah.
becoming, right?
Yes.
The C is to commit again without consensus. It's you're committed. If you're committed to your goal, yourself, your personal growth, your everything. I mean, that is the commitment that you have to yourself. And then the H is to hold the space, hold the vision when no one else does. It is
Yeah.
so, and as entrepreneurs, right? There are so many days where we're like, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
Yep, done. Throwing in the towel, right? Why am I doing this? Am I nuts? Am I
Yes.
right? But I know, and if we know in our heart of hearts that that's where we want to be, hold that vision.
Yes. Yeah,
You'll get it there.
absolutely. So, why do you think women feel such a deep need to explain, justify, soften, and make everybody else comfortable?
That's how we were raised in most
Yeah.
cases, right? That's society.
Hmm.
So there's a couple of ways of looking at that. Sometimes that's the expectation we feel others have on us or that we perceive we need to be. Also as women we're nurturers, so we tend, and those that are moms as well can understand, we put the kids first, put the husband first, put the house first, put all of that, and we don't put ourselves first. So
Hmm.
we tend to, and see how I do this with like my body, we tend to shrink ourselves so
Yes.
that we don't offend others or we don't take over the conversation. I grew up and I grew up in the ages where the family used to say kids should be seen and not heard.
Yes. Yeah.
That stood with me my entire life.
Mhm.
So I, I had to learn and retrain my brain that
Mhm.
no, I am worthy of being heard. And you
Yeah.
know what? I got the microphone, I got the freaking story, I'm going to be heard, right? But that's kind of
Yeah.
how we've been conditioned.
Yeah.
So it takes us building the muscle of showing up, being authentic, and not being, afraid of what somebody else thinks or says.
Yeah. Yes. And it can be a struggle.
Absolutely. It's not easy. It took
No.
me some time to get there. I used to
Yes.
be actually very introverted, which people are often like surprised,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And
Yes. No,
but
for sure.
I had to fake it.
Yeah.
And people say, don't fake it before you make it. I believe in faking it before you make it.
So do I.
I believe that we have to think about who we want to become,
Hmm.
be that person, even though it might be uncomfortable. But then we actually end up evolving into that version that we want to be in.
Yeah.
And
It's,
oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's like anything. You have to practice.
Yes,
You have to
yes,
practice who you want to be. Because if you're
absolutely.
not that person now, but if you want to be that person over there, you have to practice being that person or you'll
Yes,
never be that person.
absolutely, absolutely. And I
Yeah.
share with all of my clients, there's a tip that if you don't mind, I'll share with your
No,
audience
please do.
that I has been such a game changer for me and my clients. Part of my miracle morning, and you probably heard of miracle mornings before,
Yes.
and people
Yes.
have different versions of that. But one of the things that I did is I wrote down exactly how I want my life to look like a year from now. And, often we have vision boards and we
Yes.
manifest and we do all of
Yeah.
this. But I wrote down everything like how it's not just, how much money am I earning, it's how many clients I'm working with, how often am I working, how I'm spending my time, where I'm vacationing, when I'm going up and seeing my kids, like all of the how I want it to live. And I really sat with it and like smelt the ocean and listened to like
Mm.
what it wants to feel like. And that's one thing, and that's great. But then I took the voice memo app on my phone and I recorded myself as if I'm already living it. I
Ah.
get to work X amount of hours. I have this many clients. I'm earning this. I'm traveling here. I'm
Yeah.
doing this. I like all of the things that I'm doing as if I'm already doing it
Hmm.
because we know that there's a lot of ish that we go through in our lives. And that could deter us from that ultimate goal. But I listen to that every single morning, part of my miracle morning. And even on the darkest days that I don't want to get out of bed and I don't want to work or whatever the reason is,
Hmm.
I listen to that and I'm like, holy shit, I am a freaking badass. I'm like, oh my God, like this is so it's like that reminder of how
Yes.
how I'm going to live. And when you
Yeah.
start seeing some of those pieces actually come to fruition, it's like, wow, I built this. I am
Yeah.
really making this happen because when we hear it, it's all connected. Our brain, our voice, our heart, it is all here.
Yeah.
And so it's like, wow, it is one of the most powerful tools that I have in my
I
tool.
love it. When I'm going to be doing public speaking, I'll record my
Yes.
speech and then I'll listen back and as I'm going through the day and in my
Yeah.
car and just to help blend it
Yes.
into the memory. But I never thought of doing that. I am going to do that because I know how powerful that must be.
It
Huge,
really is. It's
huge.
huge. It's an absolute game changer. So as
Yeah.
far as, a lot of women are like lacking confidence in what
Yes.
they're doing, right? Because of all the reasons that we talked about, that's a huge confidence builder.
Oh, for sure.
Huge. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah. And there's something I think about hearing it in your own voice.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because your
Yeah.
brain starts to believe it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I want to ask you about this because I actually have a background in sales and marketing. I retired from that job to do this job,
Yep.
but for 34 years. So I'm really I want to know this stuff. So you built direct sales organization that grew beyond 13 million and led a team of more than 400 people. What did that teach you about leadership, persuasion, and trust?
It's
Ooh,
all relation. What a time of my life. It really, again, because I came from, corporate world and the uncertainty of whether or not I can build a business, I wanted to build something that was fun. I mean, fun was really the part of this, right?
yeah.
And so I found and aligned myself with a company that I love the product. And when you love what you're doing and you love what you're wearing and it's easy to share it, right? And so
Yes.
what that helped me learn is that I can lead from the front. I really help other women see themselves in a different light. So many women come into that business with that uncertainty, with the doubt that they can succeed. And for me, it's kind of like raising 400 plus kids. Like when they actually do it, the reward that I received didn't take money out of it,
Yeah.
but the reward in seeing another woman succeed. And if I had a small fraction of the reason why they did because
Mhm.
of my training or my coaching or me just listening to them, what a feeling. But it taught me that there is endless opportunity and possibility when you lead from your heart, when you are authentic to who you are and what your goals are, and without expectation of outcome. And that's a big thing because for a lot of people that are in sales, they're like, I need to earn this. I want to sell this. I need to sell this much money. I need to earn this trip. I need to. So that's the outcome driven. But I go into all of this with the no expectation of outcome. I'm having conversations, I'm meeting people. I know I have got great things to offer. I am
Yeah.
confident in that. So whether it's you selling your brand, you selling your services, or you selling a product, if you are 1000% confident that you love what you have to offer, then it's just having conversations. Somebody's
Yes.
interested in it. Beautiful. You have a
Yeah.
solution for them. If they're not, that's okay. Love on you. But what will happen? You remember Maya Angelou, right?
Yes.
And the
Yes.
whole like people will remember how you made them feel, not necessarily what
That's
like
right.
I forget now I'm gonna like misquote that. But it's a feeling that people get. And
Yes.
that's the whole journey of sales and marketing is how do people feel when
Yes.
they say your name?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. My husband and I went and bought some furniture. And this was 2 weeks ago because we're in the process of renovating our house.
Hmm.
And I always look for a female because I myself was in sales for
Hmm.
so long, and I like to try to give females a lift. And oh my goodness, she drove me crazy, and so badly that I wanted to ask for a different salesperson.
Yeah.
And so what it was is, and she doesn't know who I am and my background, but I'm sitting there and I'm being sold to, and it's driving me flipping crazy.
Oh,
Nobody likes to be sold to, but the way
yeah.
you just explained it, Renee, was beautiful. It's conversations.
Yeah.
It's knowing that you have something to offer and being of assistance with people.
Yeah.
And so I think, we run into people like this lovely lady, but whoa, go away
Yeah.
from me, because
Mm.
we as women go, well, I don't want to be a salesperson. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at
Right.
that bad feeling I had. But in reality, that's not what it is at all.
Right, exactly. And I turned, there's so many, we all get those DMs, right? Hey
Yes.
girl, like, we
Yeah.
got this and that, right? And we just like,
Yeah.
ugh, cringe. And I can't tell you how many of those conversations have turned into clients of mine because there are better ways of doing it. And it's
Yes.
attracting the right people to us. So many times women also say, like you just said it, I'm not a salesperson.
Yeah.
When actuality is, we're all salespeople.
Yes, we are.
We have to sell our kids on an idea. We have to sell our spouse, our significant other, right? How many people have gone like, I want to go on vacation to Aruba. I really got to convince my hubby, my significant
Yeah.
other, we want to go to Aruba, right? And
Yes.
so you start leaving little hints here and there, and
Yeah.
we're all salespeople. So it's just a matter of, earning an extra stream of income, and I'm passionate about multiple streams, earning an
Yes.
extra stream with something that you're passionate about.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So, how does personal branding change the way you see people or see yourself? Referring to or getting people to refer you, getting people to hire you, or inviting you into the bigger rooms. How do we do that with our personal branding?
So personal branding, I was talking about personal branding before I even freaking knew what it was.
Yeah,
I became Sparkle Queen. That was I selling jewelry. I was the Sparkle Queen.
love it.
When you start sharing authentically and start showing up unapologetically and showing up consistently, people will remember you. Again, they'll remember the way you made them feel.
Yeah,
So when you do that successfully, that is your personal brand. What is your niche? I had to figure out very early on what was going to make me stand out versus the other amazing women that are selling the same thing. And the same holds true whether you're an insurance agent, you're a hairdresser, no matter the industry, right? There's so many people doing it. Why would they go with you? And it's that personal
yeah,
brand. It's what do you do differently? How do you treat your clients differently? Or what is the experience they're going to have with you that perhaps might be different than somebody else? Without saying, I'm this other people aren't, you're just posturing yourself and speaking
yes,
for yourself authentically. So that's the
yes,
personal brand. It's what is your niche? What makes you uniquely you? What are you going to deliver that somebody else would not deliver? Because we all have different voices, we all have different personalities. And again, I say it all the time. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I know I'm bold. I know I'm loud. I know I'm badass queen, right? But some women resonate with that. Some women
yes,
want that, right? There's
yes.
coaches for everyone. And I'm not saying I'm the best coach, I'm the smartest coach, but I know how to build a freaking business and I know how to build multiple streams with the power of personal branding. That helped me get on the stage. I was the sponsor of the Miss America organization. Me,
Wow.
not the
I did not
company,
know that. Wow.
me. I was on the stage with the CEO. I was on the stage with Miss America Teen,
Oh, that
Kelly
sounds like
Finglas.
so much fun.
So much fun. Like I've done crazy things
Ah, yeah,
because I build my brand and I was not afraid of the no. Worst
yeah,
case scenario, they would say no. Okay.
yes,
I'm no
yeah.
better, I'm right now I'm in negotiations with licensing my badass queen. I flew down to Atlanta to talk to manufacturers about licensing. Worst case they do is say no.
Yes, exactly.
Never know. But personal
No,
brand, you've got to make somebody feel something. What do they feel? And
yes.
hopefully that visceral reaction is not ill,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
and it won't be, but it's like,
No.
what makes you uniquely you? And then it's
Yeah.
determining, what that niche is, who your audience is, and then creating the story behind it. And once you have the story of your personal brand, then it becomes a lot easier sharing content and
Yeah.
sharing you.
Yeah. Wow. Renee, you are just a wealth of information,
Mm.
motivation. Like just love it. Love I
Thank
could just sit
you.
here and listen to you all day. Or of
Thank
course our
you.
time is starting to go
Yeah.
on us. I want everyone to know who's listening to us that if you go to the show notes, you will find information on how to reach out to Renee. If that's something that you want to do, if you feel the urge to snoop around in there, or you want to chat with her about how she can help you, all of her information is going to be in the show notes. So don't be shy, people, and don't, get out there. Step out of your comfort zone because look at the beautiful things that can happen when you do. Don't
Oh,
quit hiding. Okay,
yeah.
I have another question for you. When
Thank
you work with women entrepreneurs who are ready to be seen, what are some signs that a woman is actually ready, even if she feels scared?
That's a great question. So when women come to me, they come to me in different stages of their journey. And for those that are just starting out, oftentimes it's from, uh, I can tell that they're ready if they've gone through a life change.
Mm,
That oftentimes is a signal that they're ready for that next chapter. When they've struggled and they come to me with I've tried that, I've tried so many things, nothing works, and they're kind of at their wits' end, that's when I know that I can help them and I can support them with new strategies and tools and what's working in this AI revolution as well. AI
mm,
is a
yes.
hugely important aspect of, a tool to build our business. But I recognize that so many people are using AI incorrectly. They're using it as a Google search. And,
Right.
I
Yes.
have programs and tools to help women learn AI. And that's a
Mm,
lot of people are, I don't want to use AI. Well, guess what? AI is here. So unless you use it, you're going to be left behind.
that's
So,
right.
when women come to me, I know that they've been through some shit, quite honestly. And those are the women that, it just brings me so much joy to help them and guide them through
Mm,
this next chapter because I've been there and I've been through all the shit with them. So
yeah.
it's personal for me. And so
Yeah.
I know when women are ready to work with me, it's personal for them.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Well, I could just keep talking to you and talking to you and talking to you.
Hey,
Oh, it just yeah, you're very you're willing to share where you were
thank
and
you.
you share where you are without without worrying about telling people where you are,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You know,
You know
we
what?
all
I'm proud. I'm just
yes.
fucking proud. Like I've gone
Yes.
through a lot and I share it because I want other women to know that if they're going through shit, they can get out of it too. And
Yes.
there are
Yes.
resources, whether or not they work with me, but if they just want to, follow
Yes.
me for inspiration, that's fine.
Yeah.
They want to have a
Yeah.
conversation without working with, I'm happy to.
Yes.
There's, the saying rising tide lifts all boats, and it's for sure. And, the
Yeah.
more women supporting each other, the more blessings we all receive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Renee, when women hear your story and your message, what do you hope they finally give themselves permission to do?
To do it scared. I can be
Mm.
scared and still go. I just wrote a song. That's the title of
Oh,
the song.
really?
Yeah. So I have two songs that are available on Apple and Spotify. And I also use it for social media, for reels and stuff. But one
Yeah.
is Watch Me Rise.
Oh,
Okay. And then
yeah.
that's bold. And then the I can be scared because I want
Oh,
women to give themselves permission to do it scared.
yeah. That's great. Yes. Permission to do it scared. I love that.
Yeah.
Because yeah, don't we're all scared at one
Yes.
point
Yes.
and always that fear is somewhat there. So, but you have to do it or you stay in the same situation and you don't grow and people around you don't flourish. And because
Yeah.
I believe that we are the glue, women like me, we are the glue.
Yeah.
And when we heal, when we rise, when we do better, everybody around us seems to do better.
Yes.
You
Yes. And
know,
it's contagious.
it is contagious.
Yep.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that's why I'm happily sharing success.
Yeah.
I share the pain and the trials and the tribulations and all of that. But I
Yeah.
share success because I also want women to know that you can be successful. You're going to go through,
Yes.
I'm going to fail a zillion times. I'm
Yes.
okay with that. I will share with the world. You know what? Tried this, that didn't freaking work. So I'm
Yeah.
going to pivot and do something else, right? And that's
Exactly.
okay. But we have this one opportunity, this one life,
Yeah.
and I'm going to
Yeah.
live it even
Yeah.
scared.
Yeah. Wow. That is a fabulous statement for us to end on. Well, thank you,
Beautiful.
Renee, for doing this. I appreciate it so much. The majority of my audience is female, and I know that if they take the time to watch this or listen to us, they are going to get so much goodness out of this. And so,
Well,
so I appreciate you so much for being willing to give us your time and your wisdom. So, thank you
thank
so
you
much.
so much. Thank you very much for having me and for inviting me to share my journey.
You're welcome. Okay, everybody. Well, that is it, if you can believe it, for this episode of Women Like Me Stories in Business. And thank you so much for being here and thank you for watching. And we will see you all next time. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye bye.